Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. It's week 10, season 3, 2024. We are back at Tsukuba in the Formula Vee for yet another track guide. Now, something to note. Obviously, I always start these from the Vee schedule, and this season, the track is some 20-odd degrees warmer than it was last season. So, reset those splits. You are not going to be able to go as fast as you did last time. Unlikely, even if you've improved over the intervening period. There is virtually no grip on this track. I'm nearly a full second down on where I was before, so don't be too disheartened. You're going to be up against other people experiencing the exact same problems as you. Anyway, we'll start off with a hot lap and then a breakdown lap, then back to a chase cam, and then back from the cockpit with the driving line on for those people that want it. See you in the cockpit now. So as you can see, it's a boiling hot 51 degrees Celsius on the track, and this is the best lap that I managed from my dozen or so that I tried. So over on the left-hand side, coming up, looking for where the railing gets solid on the left, trail it all the way down to the apex, try and keep off that inside curb. It's very slippy this week. Back over to the right hand side, looking for the little road there, again trailing it off. I drop it down to second, it's the only way I could get any grip coming out of there. Up to third, back over to the left hand side, got to do a big lift here, back on the gas. Try and keep it as tight to the left hand side as possible here without going onto the grass. Looking for the end of this AstroTurf on the left, again trailing it off, again I drop it down to second, long trail, back on the gas into third gear. Now we're looking for that blue bale coming up on the left-hand side. Up to fourth gear. We'll start turning at the bale. Drop it off. Back into third gear. Clip that. And try and finish as best as you can. As I say, 105.459. It's a full second down on where I was last season, but it really was as well as I could drive this week. Right, now we'll do the breakdown lap. Okay, now for the breakdown. So, over on the left-hand side, and what we're looking for here is just coming up on the left, where that fencing becomes solid. Once we get to that, we're going to start turning just to the right of the marshal's hut. I'm going to brake sharply in a straight line, getting all the braking done. Up to about 60%, so I'm actually braking less than I was in previous seasons, and that's simply because there is no grip whatsoever. I am using baseline brake bias here, and that's because if I had it any further back, it really would start making me oversteer even more. So we're trailing it off a really long trail down to the apex here, drop it down into third, and I'm wanting to actually stay off this inside curbing because it's very, very slippery. So as soon as I drop it down into third, back onto full gas. Feels so sluggish out of there. Trying to keep it as straight as possible through this area. And now what we're looking for here is the change in colour on the asphalt. So the start of this entrance road on the right-hand side. As we get there, we're going to aim directly ahead at that sort of bush that's sticking up. And again, we're going to brake up to about 75, 80% in a straight line and immediately start trailing it off, wanting a nice late apex round here. So I'm still trailing off the brakes. Once I get down to 0, that's when I'm going to give it a big blip of throttle, drop it down to second gear, and now I'm just fully on the throttle the whole way through. Up to third gear, back over to the left-hand side. I'm taking a little bit of grass here just to open up the entrance to this next corner, turn 5. And I'm going to start moving towards the apex. And then I'm going to get off the gas. And I'm going to get back on the gas just as I clip onto the curbing here. You will come out left, but try and get it back over. I leave it in third gear here. So I have in the past changed up to fourth and then gone back down to third. But I'm leaving it in third here because I'm wanting to get down to second on turn 8. So once we get to the end of this sort of green AstroTurf or whatever it is, Once I get there, I'm going to brake up to about 80%. Again, not being able to use the full braking power here because of how slippy it is and how prone you are to locking up or losing the rear. So getting the majority of the speed washed off in a straight line, and then again, we're trailing it off all the way down to the apex. And once I get down to the apex, you can see I've just put a big blip of throttle on, and that's because I'm dropping it down to second gear and straight on to a full 100% gas as I do that. Back up to third. I do believe to go fast around here this week, you are going to need to make use of second. If you do want to leave it in third, you will just bog down a little bit. Now we're looking for this blue bale that comes up on the left-hand side here. Same as always, as we get there, we're going to turn in. Once we get to about halfway across the track, going to come off the gas. So just a big lift, dropping it down to third, and then straight back on the gas here. Clipping the inside curb. Just revving it out in the quali lap for a 105.459. Now, we do know that it can sometimes be that once we actually get to the race week that the temps are lower or higher. But if they are lower, you might be able to go faster. But I do believe that's going to be a very competitive time on these track conditions. Right, now we'll go full speed from the chase cam. Okay, here we go. Okay, one final run through from the cockpit with the driving line on. So yeah, nice wider entry than the driving line suggests. Back on the gas earlier than it wants you to. Again, a wider entry, late apex. As always, thanks for watching. You've been wonderful support today. Cheers, guys. See you in the week.